if you want to level up your database skills and move from a novice to an expert, ranging from databases like Microsoft Server, Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle databases, MySQL, and Postgres. Then buckle your seatbelt because Tech Remedia, we simplify those hard concepts and make you understand and move from a novice to an expert in databases. If you are new to this channel and you love this kind of content, please consider subscribing and also leave a comment below. Let us know what you think about this content. Without further ado, let's get started. Today we're going to be doing today's video. We're going to be covering stored procedures, and stored procedures are basically a set of queries that are usually saved in the database, so that they can be executed routinely or more frequently. So we have two types of stored procedures. We have user-defined procedures and we have system-defined procedures. User-defined procedures is the procedure that we create for our own use as users, and we can always delete and recreate them and even alter. But system-defined procedures, they are created by the they come packaged with the Microsoft SQL Server software, and usually most of them usually cannot be deleted. As you can see, there is no option to delete. Right. So these are system procedures. Then you have the user defined procedures like these ones. Right. So we already have some existing procedures already. So you're gonna go ahead and create a few procedures, and let's see how this one works. So let's open a new query window. Maybe you can do a simple select statement from our tables first of all. Basically, a stored procedure uses queries to be able to query the tables. So for instance, we have a suppliers table here. Which is our products table. That's our products table. Suppose we want to return a query that gets us the supplier name, the category name, the unit per price and the units in stock, and the product name and the supplier name, and probably maybe the country from which the supplier comes. So the best thing to do is, yes, you can write the query, but the best thing would be to do it through a view. So let's go ahead and do a view first of all. Right, so we just create a new view, right click and click new view, right, so that we can get the view designer here. So we just need the two tables here, the products table and the suppliers table. So then close that one. So usually it will show you the relationship between the two tables. Right, so we have the supplier ID here. It's pointing to supplier ID within the suppliers table. Okay. So within products table, the supplier ID is a foreign key. Within the suppliers table, the supplier ID is a primary key. Right. So category ID again is a foreign key within the products table. So let's add the category ID. So add table, then you can get categories, then close. Right. So then when we have it like this, we can select the columns that we want. After confirming that the relationships are marked correctly, then we can go ahead and select the columns that we need. So we'll start with the product name, right? And then we have the supplier, company name, right? Then we can have the unit price. We can say quantity per unit price, and units in stock. Okay. And then you can have the category. the category name of the product. Okay. So once we check the columns that we want to select, we can go ahead and check down here. The second row here gives you the query that you just depending on the columns that you select, right? So select this one has generated a query for us and it has an energy. So go ahead and copy this one, right? And then go back to a new query window. So let's start writing our stored procedure here. So first of all, to create a stored procedure, we use the keyword create procedure. Then give it a name and say SP product list. Products applied list. So give it a name the way you want, and then if we have any parameters, you can go ahead and put them in brackets. Then you say class begin, then you put a select query here. So within the brackets, we need to put parameters that we want to add. So before we do parameters, let's do without parameter. Let's see what we get. Okay, then at the end begin, then end, things like that. Right. So we go ahead and execute this one. This one should create a procedure for us within the node database. So execute command completed successfully. So we go ahead in our node database, go to programmability, expand, then go to the stored procedures. If you right click stored procedures and refresh, then you're going to get our SP product supplier list. And it's here, so it's been created. So basically that's how we create a stored procedure. Right. So in case we needed to change something within the stored procedure, then you'd use the keyword alter procedure, then the procedure name. So the procedure has to exist within the database that you are currently using, that is not in database. So for instance, if we go ahead and put a name that doesn't exist and try to alter it, we get an error here. Invalid object name, SP product supplier list 2. We don't have such a procedure. So we have to have the correct procedure name. So if, for example, we want to change and remove some columns like this one. Okay. So you can and execute completed successfully. So we go again to a supplier list and try to maybe modify. And you can see you don't have the first column is gone. Okay. So we can undo this one. It was product name. The altered procedure, we don't have product name. Okay. Let's close that one. And let's execute this one again so that we return the column of products, product name. Okay. So that's how we create and alter stored procedures. The next thing is how to execute stored procedures. This one can be done either within the query or graphically. So graphically, just right click the stored procedure and then execute stored procedure. Okay. So if the stored procedure has parameters, you'll be prompted to enter the values of the parameters. For our case, right now, we don't have any parameters. So click OK. And this one should return the values that we've selected. Right. So that's how we execute within using the graphical user interface. Now within the query window, what we need to do is let's open a new query window. What what you need to do is use the execute. Then you can put the name of the stored procedure like that. You go ahead and press F5 to execute, or use this button here to execute, and we get the list. That's another way to run a stored procedure. The other way is to use the keyword execute. It does the same function to execute. Yeah. So the other option is just to put the name alone, the name of the stored procedure, and then just execute. Still give you the same results. Right. So let's go again and modify our stored procedure a bit. So alter procedure, the same name, and then we can add a where clause here. Where maybe unit price between between 10 and 30. Okay. Let's go ahead and execute. Our command completed successfully, so our stored procedure has been altered. Even if you close these windows, and then modify, yeah, you get that now our query has been modified, and therefore our stored procedure is different now. So we go ahead and again execute our stored procedure using any of the methods. You can say then you can drag this name there instead of typing. Then press F5 to execute to get the same results. But now here let's confirm. So we check at the unit price of our results. It's now filtered only between 10 and 30. So we have 18. We don't have any number that exceeds 30, or any number that is less than 10. Okay, so our query is working and using the where clause. So we can go ahead and still modify our stored procedure and make it even a bit more complex. So go ahead and modify. So now we can go ahead and add some parameters. Okay, so you can say alter procedure. Now we can add some parameters here. Okay, we can use maybe price. We can say price, unit price. We can say at. So we use the at symbol to initiate or to define parameters within SQL Server stored procedures. So at start price, start unit price, and this one will be a decimal. Okay, then comma with the second parameter at end and unit price. This will also be a decimal, the data type, and decimal. Then you can leave it at that for now. And now when you come to our where clause, we're going to use our parameters now instead of using the numbers. So it says start unit price. So where unit price between, put our parameter here. Sorry, just our parameter there. And then the end unit price, we paste that. So that our class now uses the parameters instead of the numbers that are manually entered. That whenever now you call this procedure, you have to provide the start unit price and the end unit price, so that the return results will be between the two prices. Let's go ahead and execute this one to be able to effect our changes to the database. Okay, so let's just close this window, then right click and modify. Yes, our stored procedure is okay. So let's go ahead and execute now. I can decide to execute the graphical way. Just a graphic. Okay, sorry. Right click and execute stored procedure. And now here we are required to enter the two values. So double click on the value field and put 15, and then the end unit price, let me say 25. Then go ahead and click OK to execute. So we have a result set there, and if you can check at the unit price, it's ranging between 15 and 25. There's no value that is beyond 15 and below 15, and no value beyond 25. So that's how we use a parameter, and these are input parameters. Okay, we have other types of parameters that are called output parameters. We're going to be looking at that in a separate video. Okay, so that's how we execute our stored procedure. Within the query window, you can use you can still execute the same stored procedure by using either the execute. Then we put the stored procedure name like that. Then we now provide the two parameters that this stored procedure requires. So if we execute this one without providing the parameters, then we get an error here. Procedure function SP supplier list expects parameter start unit price, which was not supplied. So you have to provide that. So if it's a number, you just type the number. If the data type is a character or text, then you have to use the single quotes. So in our case, start unit price is a decimal, so we just put it. We can say 10. Okay, then we put a comma. We provide the next parameter, which is maybe 30. You can say between 10 and 30. So then let's go ahead and press F5 to execute. So you get the same kind of results. So between 10 and 30, we check the unit price. That one is fine. It's between 10 and 30. Right. So again, now we can go ahead and still modify our stored procedure further. Okay, just modify. So maybe let's go ahead and perform something that looks like a search, so that whenever maybe we call this stored procedure from our application and give it a value to search in the database, it can return us a result set. Okay. So let's add another parameter here. We say search search term. We can call it varchar, which is can give it 50 characters. Okay. And now this search term is what we're going to filter our content further. So we're going to say we have unit price between this and this. Then we add another condition and search term. We're going to say quantity per unit. You can use quantity per unit. Quantity per unit, then you use the keyword. Without using the parameters, we are to comment this one first of all. We comment by using the double hyphen, then we remove that comma. So before using the parameter, the search parameter, ideally we'd do this to be able to search. And say like in the box. Ideally, we'd use that one to be able to search. So a quantity per unit. Okay, let's just confirm the values within the products table. Products table. There's quantity per unit. We have boxes. So let's go ahead and use this one first. So execute to alter our stored procedure. And let's go ahead and now execute. Let's provide the values. That is the start unit price and the end unit price. So let's say 20, 25, then execute. So we only get 2 records here, and it's only the records that have we meet the 2 parameters first of all, and then the quantity per unit has at least the word box within the description, the quantity per unit, right? So this one we've done it manually. We go ahead and use now our parameter here, which is search term, and put a comma there, so that instead of using this manually typed, can use the parameter such that this parameter can come even from an external application when this procedure is called, right? So we're going to do some concatenation here, and we put our parameter there, then we close our concatenation there. So this one now should be able to use whichever search term is passed to be able to search the records. Let's go ahead and execute this one by pressing F5 or using this execute button here. So again, if we go back and try to execute our stored procedure here, we can now go ahead and either add that parameter and say is equals to, and put into a box. Okay, we need a comma here. So we execute to get again the same kind of results, only 2 results that are returned. We can use either this kind of execution, or we can use the graphic one. So you just use whichever is convenient for you. So we can just execute. You see now it will need 3 parameters. So you can say between 10 and 50. Search term is box, and then you say OK. So we get more because we've expanded now our unit price range. We get more results, right? So that's how we use input parameters, okay, within Microsoft SQL Server stored procedures. So we've seen how to create and alter stored procedures. So let's now look at how to delete stored procedures. So for you to be able to delete stored procedures, you can either right click the stored procedure and click the delete button here. Alternatively, you can just do it in a query. So just drop. You can either use procedure in full or just say drop proc. Then you can drag the name of the procedure you want to delete here. Okay. The dealer should be able to drop that. So command successfully. And then go ahead and refresh this one. After is gone. Okay. To recreate it, we need to come here and say create procedure and then execute. So we come back here and refresh, you should be able to find our stored procedure back. Okay. So that's how basically we do stored procedures within Microsoft SQL Server. And this marks the end of this video. If you are new to this channel, kindly please make sure you hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment below and let us know what you think about this content. For those who are already subscribed, thank you for watching our content and thank you for supporting us. We don't take you for granted. And please make sure you share this content to as many platforms so that you can be able to expand this community and continue learning more and more content. so that we can be able to level up our skills in databases and be able to stand out even in the job market. Thank you for watching, and let's meet in the next video.